There is a paradox destroying an entire generation of disciplined people. People who wake up early, go to the gym, build their own businesses, and study late at night. People who seem to do everything right, and yet they are slowly self-destructing. It's not a lack of effort, it's being in too much of a hurry. In Japan, there is a concept called ma. Ma means the space between things, the silence between musical notes, the emptiness that makes music possible. Western cultures focus on the notes. The Japanese understand that without silence, you don't have music, you only have noise. Perhaps your life right now is nothing but noise. You want your body to change in 30 days, your company to triple in 6 months, relationship to become perfect immediately. Or maybe you want to get rich quickly and dine effortlessly. But this rush isn't accelerating you, it's paralyzing you. Taoists have a saying that sounds almost nonsensical. Hurry up slowly. Some sources say it originated from Latin, but the idea aligns perfectly with Taoist philosophy. Action without excessive force, and the calm confidence that if you stay in motion, results will come. When you first hear it, the phrase feels contradictory. That's because you haven't yet understood the game you're playing. Today, you'll hear Matthew's story. A man who was on the right path, but running in the wrong direction, and how. A psychologist with Eastern roots saved his life by teaching him something that goes against everything most people believe about success. This story applies both to those already building something and suffering from the anxiety of wanting faster results, and to those who haven't built anything yet but want to completely change their lives in 2 months. Different situations, same logic. Before we begin, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, and commenting below. What area of your life do you feel the most anxiety about quick results? Your body, money, career, relationships? If you feel comfortable, share it in the comments. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1. The man who had everything and nothing. Matthew was 28 years old. He was building a tech startup with 3 partners, generating $10,000 in monthly revenue and growing at 15% every month. He woke up at 5 a.m., went to the gym at 5:30, arrived at the office by 7 a.m., and worked until 8 p.m. He was dating a beautiful woman, lived in a decent apartment, and had a well-organized life. From the outside, anyone would look at him and think, I wish I had his life. But inside, Matthew was falling apart. Every morning at the gym, he stared into the mirror and saw the same body as 3 months ago. Same body fat percentage, same muscle definition. He trained hard. He ate clean, but the reflection never changed, and it slowly ate him alive. At work, every results meeting felt like torture point. 5% growth. It should be $3,010,000 in revenue. Competitors were already at $50,000. He saw startups explode in 6 months, influencers becoming millionaires in a year. Why was it taking so long for him? At night, when he got home, his girlfriend Emily would ask how his day was, and he would snap. Another wasted day. The company is moving too slowly. My body isn't changing. It feels like I'm running on sand. Emily tried to calm him. Matthew, you're growing. Look where you were last year. Last year doesn't matter, he snapped. What matters is where I should be right now. What Matthew didn't realize was that he had developed a deeply destructive pattern. I checked the company metrics countless times a day, he admitted later. One Tuesday, he tracked it, just to prove he wasn't exaggerating. It was worse than he thought. He constantly checked the Instagram accounts of entrepreneurs he believed were ahead of him. Each post felt like a knife to the chest. 25-year-old with an imported car. A 23-year-old running a 7-figure company. I'm behind. I'm losing. He kept thinking. At night, lying in bed, his mind wouldn't shut off. If I grow 15% every month for 18 months, I'll reach X, but if I push it to 25%, I'll reach Y dot. And if I work 3 more hours a day? Emily would wake up at 2 o'clock a.m. and find him staring at the ceiling, breathing heavily, drenched in sweat. "Matthew, did you sleep?" "I fell asleep. I just woke up." It was the 4th night that week. "Everything's fine," he said. "I'm just thinking about work." But everything was not fine, and Emily knew it. Chapter 2. The Conversation. That changed everything. It was a Friday night. Matthew came home and found Emily sitting at the kitchen table. No phone. No TV. Just silence. His stomach tightened. "Sit down," she said. "I love you. You know that, right?" His heart started racing. Whenever a conversation starts like that, something painful usually follows. "I see you as the father of my children. I see a future with you. But there's something I need to say, and you need to truly listen." She took a deep breath. "Are you killing yourself?" "Not physically," she continued, "but on the inside. You haven't slept properly in months. You can't enjoy anything because you're always living 3 steps ahead. We go out to dinner. You're checking company metrics. We watch a movie. You're calculating how much time you're wasting. Matthew, you're here, but you're not present." The words hurt because they were true. "And the worst part?" she said softly. "You are succeeding. The company is growing. You're healthy. Your life is good. But you don't see it. You only see what hasn't happened yet. And that's destroying you." Matthew tried to defend himself. "I need this intensity," he said. "If I slow down, I stop growing." "No." Emily slammed her hand on the table. It was the first time he'd ever seen her raise her voice. "That's not how it works. You're not speeding up. You're stalling. Your anxiety isn't pushing you forward. It's holding you back." Silence. "I'm asking you to do something," she said. "You need to get help. This isn't weakness. It's taking care of yourself. Because I want a life with you, but not with this version of you that can't breathe." Matthew looked into her eyes and saw something that broke him. Fear. That night, he didn't sleep again. But this time, he wasn't calculating growth. For the first time, he was seeing his life the way Emily saw it. A man running so fast. He was falling behind. Chapter 3. A psychologist who didn't seem like one Monday. 2 p.m. Matthew sat in a waiting room. Emily had found the psychologist, Dr. Kenji Tanaka, a second-generation Japanese immigrant, trained in clinical psychology and Zen philosophy. When the door opened, Matthew expected a man in a suit with a notebook. Instead, he saw a calm 50-year-old wearing a simple shirt and jeans. No diplomas on the wall, just a bonsai plant and a hand-painted black circle. "Matthew," he said gently, "nice to meet you." They sat down. Dr. Tanaka didn't write anything. He didn't speak. 10 seconds. 20. 30. Matthew grew uncomfortable. "So you run," Dr. Tanaka said. Matthew blinked. "Sorry?" "You run, not physically, but inside. Your body is here, but your mind is already in next week, next month, next year. You're not here." A chill ran through Matthew. "How did you know?" "Emily told me some things." Dr. Tanaka smiled. "But I didn't need them. You arrived 10 minutes early, sat down, checked your phone 4 times in 3 minutes. You can't be still." Silence. "Tell me something, Matthew," he continued. "When was the last time you truly enjoyed something while it was happening?" Matthew opened his mouth and stopped. He couldn't remember. "You can't, can you?" "Doctor," Tanaka said softly, "because you live in a state Buddhists call sankhara dukkha, suffering caused by constant mental movement. You can't be where you are, because you're always chasing where you haven't arrived yet." Dr. Tanaka stood up, walked to the table, and gently picked up the bonsai. This tree is 15 years old, he said. Look closely. It's small, isn't it? Matthew nodded double quotes. Do you know how long it takes for a bonsai to be finished? Matthew shook his head. Never. Dr. Tanaka replied. Ah, bonsai is never truly finished, and that's exactly what makes it perfect. The person cultivating a bonsai is never in a hurry for it to grow. They enjoy the process of growing it. He placed the tree back on the table and sat down. You came here because you're suffering, but your suffering isn't because things are going wrong. It's because you can't enjoy the process of things going right. Your company is growing, but you're not happy. Body is healthy, but you don't feel good. Your relationship is strong, but you can't enjoy it. Why? Matthew answered immediately. Because I haven't arrived where I want to be yet. And when you get there, Dr. Tanaka asked calmly, what will happen? Matthew thought for a moment. I'll relax. I'll finally enjoy myself. Dr. Tanaka shook his head. No, Matthew, when you get there, you'll create a new goal, and you'll keep running. The problem isn't where you are. It's that you don't know how to stop running. The words landed like a bomb. Dr. Tanaka continued. Let me explain what's happening in your brain. Are you familiar with the amygdala? Matthew shook his head. It's the part of your brain responsible for detecting threats. For our ancestors, it identified lions, snakes, enemy tribes. Today, it identifies different threats, delays, comparison. The feeling of falling behind. When you compare your progress to others. When you feel you're losing time, your amygdala triggers the same alarm as if you are facing a predator. Your body enters survival mode. Cortisol floods your bloodstream. Your sympathetic nervous system takes over. You live in a constant state of fight or flight. And do you know what happens when you live like that 24 hours a day? Matthew listened closely. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational, strategic part of your brain, begins to shut down. You stop making intelligent decisions and start reacting emotionally. You stop seeing opportunities and only see threats. Creativity dies. Problem solving weakens. And ironically, Dr. Tanaka paused. You become slower. Your haste is slowing you down. Chapter 4. Wu Wei, Action. Without hurry. The Taoists have a concept that will sound strange to you. Dr. Tanaka said, Wu Wei. It means non-action or effortless action, but it doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing something without forcing it. Think of a river. The river never stops flowing, but have you ever seen a river in a hurry? It flows naturally. It moves around rocks. It finds the path of least resistance. And yet, over time, it cuts mountains in half. Your mistake is thinking that to go faster, you need more force. In reality, the more force you apply, the more resistance you create. It's like trying to hold water tightly. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Matthew leaned forward. So what do I do? Stop working hard? Stop having goals? No, Dr. Tanaka replied. Stop confusing excessive movement with progress. Let me show you something. He opened a drawer and took out 2 glasses and a pitcher of water. He filled the first glass. Slowly. The water flowed gently. No rush. No anxiety. Just a steady flow. In 30 seconds, the glass was full. Then he lifted the pitcher and poured the second glass in one aggressive motion. Water gushed out. Half of it spilled across the table. More force. More speed. More anxiety. The result? Waste. And the glass is only half full. Matthew understood immediately. Your company, your body, your relationship, they're all cups. And you're pouring so hard that half of it spills out. You work 14 hours, but only 6 are productive. You train intensely, but your body can't recover. You sit with Emily, but your mind is still at the office. Wu Wei isn't about doing less. It's about stopping the force. It's flow instead of struggle. Chapter 5. MA, The Power of Empty Space DR. Tanaka pointed to the black circle on the wall. Do you know what this is? A circle? Matthew replied, It's an enso, a Zen circle painted in a single brushstroke. Notice something important. Dr. Tanaka said, It's not perfect. The circle had thick and thin lines, and it wasn't fully closed. There's a small opening. Matthew noticed. Exactly, Dr. Tanaka said. Do you know why it's open? It represents the perfection of imperfection, the emptiness that allows movement. Zen masters understand something you haven't yet learned. Empty. Space is just as important as filled space. In Japan, we call this MA, the interval, the silence between. Musical notes, the pause between breaths. Space between words. Western cultures focus on what is present. The Japanese understand that without absence, presence has no meaning. Dr. Tanaka picked up his phone and played a classical piano piece. Listen, he said. What makes this music beautiful? The notes? No, the silence between them. He played another version, notes without pauses, rapid and compressed. It becomes noise. The notes are the same, but without MA, there is no music. Matthew felt something click inside him. Your life is the same, Dr. Tanaka said. You filled every second with productivity. Goals, action. There is no MA. No space to think, no space to process, no space to grow. And that's why, even while doing everything right, you feel stuck. It's just noise. Chapter 6. The 3 Principles of Active Patience DR. Tanaka took a blank sheet of paper and drew 3 circles. I'm going to teach you 3 principles, he said. If you apply them, your life will change. Not because you'll work less, but because you'll stop wasting 60% of your energy fighting the process. First principle, Shoshin, beginner's mind. Shoshin means beginner's mind. It's the ability to keep curiosity and openness even after years of experience. Your problem, Matthew, is that you want to be an expert too fast. You want to master. Business in 6 months. Build the perfect body in 3 months. Become an ideal partner immediately. But mastery doesn't work that way. A martial arts master with 40 years of training still calls himself a student because he understands there is always more to learn. This patience with your own development is what creates real growth. When you adopt Shoshin, you stop comparing yourself to others. You understand that your path is unique. Your timeline is yours. Matthew wrote, Shoshin, stop comparing. Enjoy learning. Second principle, Kaizen, imperceptible improvement. Kaizen means continuous improvement. Not dramatic breakthroughs, but 1% progress. Small changes, almost invisible, but powerful when compounded. You want 100% growth in 6 months. What happens? You create impossible expectations, get frustrated, burn out your team, make desperate decisions, and ironically, you grow less. Now imagine accepting 1% growth per week. Sounds small, but 1% per week for a year is 67% growth, and it's sustainable. No burnout, no panic, no desperation. Same principle applies to the body. You Want to lose 10 kilos in 2 months. Result? Extreme diet, stressed body, rebound weight gain. Now imagine losing 0.5 kilos per week. Slow got almost boring. But in 6 months, you've lost 12 kilos, and it stays off. Matthew hesitated. But I see people explode quickly, he said. Startups. Going from 0 to millions. Bodies transformed in 12 weeks. Dr. Tanaka smiled. And you also see those same people collapse just as fast. Rapid. Growth without foundation is a sandcastle. The first wave destroys it. Matthew wrote, Kaizen to 1% sustainable. Growth beats explosive collapse. Third principle, ka no eji. Enjoying emptiness, the final principle, is the hardest. Dr. Tanaka said, ka no eji, the taste of emptiness. It's the ability to find peace, not only in progress, but in the absence of progress. There will be weeks when your company doesn't grow, days when you train and see no change, moments where it feels like nothing is happening. And those moments are not failures. They are where real growth happens. An elite athlete doesn't grow during training. He grows during rest. Training breaks muscle. Down. Rest rebuilds it stronger. Without rest, he doesn't get stronger. He gets injured. Your mistake is believing every moment must be productive. But growth isn't linear. It's a rhythm, action, and rest. Expansion and integration. When you learn to enjoy emptiness, you stop panicking. And ironically, those quiet moments are when your subconscious is preparing the next leap. Matthew wrote, Kai no Aji, growth happens in rest, not only in action. Dr. Tanaka looked at him. These 3 principles together create what I call active patience. Not passive, waiting, but consistent action without anxiety, hard work without desperation, goals without healthy attachment. And when you live like this, you stop wasting energy on fear. You use 100% of it for real work. You become faster by slowing down. Chapter 7, 30 Days of Mental Re-Education. Math left the office with 3 tasks. Task 1, the ritual of presence, 5 minutes every morning. Dr. Tanaka said, no guided meditation. No breathing techniques. Just sit and do nothing. Your mind will scream. Let it scream. These 5 minutes teach your brain that the world won't collapse if you stop. That not everything is urgent. And over time, your amygdala lowers the emergency alarm. Matthew thought it sounded pointless, but he agreed to try. Task 2, gratitude for the process. Every night, Dr. Tanaka continued, write 3 actions, not results. Not the company grew, but I worked 6 focused hours. Not I lost weight, but I trained even when tired. This trains your brain to value effort, not instant outcomes. And when you value the process, 5 minutes of sitting in silence, a gratitude journal. It sounded like cheap self-help, but Emily had asked him to try, so he did. Day 3, resistant sitting in silence felt like torture. After 30 seconds, his mind was already screaming, this is a waste of time. You could be checking emails. You could be working. He endured the 5 minutes, but hated every second of it. The journal felt even worse. I worked 6 hours focused. So what? The company didn't grow. I went to the gym. My body didn't change. It all felt pointless, but he continued because he had promised. Day 7. The first breach during the 5 minutes of silence. His mind screamed as usual, but this time something changed. For the first time, he noticed that it was screaming. He wasn't inside the thoughts. He was observing them. It lasted maybe 10 seconds, but it was different. That night, while writing in his journal, he reread the week's entries. I worked focused. I went to the gym. I had a real conversation with Emily without checking my phone. Reading them together, he saw a pattern. He was doing everything right. There were no dramatic results, but the actions were consistent. And for the first time in months, he felt something unfamiliar. Pride, not pride in results, pride in consistency. Day 14. The moment of clarity's second week. Matthew was in a meeting with his partners. One of them, Daniel, was panicking. Nan, we're growing too slowly. Our competitor is already at $50,000 in revenue, and we're still at $10,000. We need to accelerate. Do something drastic. 2 weeks earlier, Matthew would have agreed and spiraled into despair, but something had changed. Daniel, Matthew said calmly, let me ask you something. Did we grow 15% last month? Yes. Did we improve the product? Yes. And are the customers happy? Yes, but we're wasting time. Matthew leaned back. While we grow steadily, they're burning through $500,000 in ad spend. Their customer acquisition cost is unsustainable. I read their numbers yesterday. In 6 months, they'll be bankrupt. And we'll still be growing at the same pace, but sustainably. Silence filled the room. Matthew continued. I spent the last few months desperate because we weren't growing fast enough. And you know what that did? I almost burned us out. I almost made stupid decisions just because I was in a hurry. We're not behind, Daniel. We're on the right track. As he said it, he felt something strange. He believed it. He wasn't pretending confidence. He actually felt it. Day 21. A transformation of the body. 3 weeks in. Matthew stepped on the scale for the first time in a month. He had lost 2 kilos. A month ago, he would have been furious. Only 2 kilos? An entire month for this? But now, his mind reacted differently. 2 kilos without anxiety. 2 kilos without extreme diets. 2 kilos sustainably. And more importantly, he was enjoying the process. He liked training, not because of visible results, but because he had learned to value the act itself. For the first time, he wasn't doing something for a future outcome. He was doing it for present satisfaction. Perhaps you suffer from the same problem. Instead of enjoying the process, you live anxiously waiting for the result. But learning to enjoy the process is the secret to consistency, and consistency is the secret behind every lasting achievement. Day 30. The conversation with Emily. 1 month after the first consultation, Matthew was lying on the couch with Emily. They were watching a silly comedy, and he was laughing, truly laughing, fully present. In the middle of the movie, Emily looked at him. You're different. Different how? He asked. You're here, she said. Really here. Not thinking about the company, not calculating anything, just here with me. Matthew realized it was true. For the first time in months, he was watching a movie without checking his phone, without his mind drifting, without anxiety gnawing at him from the inside. I think I understand now, he said. Understand what? That life isn't a race. It's a river. Emily smiled and rested her head on his shoulder. I knew you'd get there. The neuroscience of patience at the next appointment, Dr. Tanaka noticed it immediately. You seem smaller, Matthew. Not weaker, calmer. Your shoulders are lower. Your jaw is relaxed. You literally take up less space because you're no longer living in constant defense mode. He drew a grain on a sheet of paper. When you live in constant anxiety, he explained, your body produces cortisol and adrenaline non-stop. These hormones are useful in emergencies, but destructive when constant. They shrink. The hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for learning and memory, At the same time, the amygdala, the fear center, becomes hyperactive. Slow growth becomes a threat. No visible body change becomes a threat. A competitor moving faster becomes a threat. And the worst part? The prefrontal cortex, the rational, strategic part, goes offline. You literally become less intelligent under anxiety. Matthew absorbed every word. But in the last 30 days, Dr. Tanaka continued, you did something revolutionary. You taught your brain that calm is not dangerous, that you can be relaxed and still productive. Those 5 minutes of silence trained your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. Every day, you sent your body the message. Everything is fine. There is no emergency. The gratitude journal revived your reward system. Before, you only felt good about results. Now, you feel good about action. That releases dopamine in the present moment, not just at the finish line. You rewired your brain to enjoy the process. And by removing social media, you cut off the main source of cortisol. No comparison. No constant alarms. Your amygdala calmed down. Your hippocampus began to recover. Your prefrontal cortex came back online. You literally have a different brain now. Matthew looked at his hands. He felt it. And here's the craziest part, Doctor. Tanaka said, now that you've stopped running in desperation, you're actually accelerating. Because 100% of your energy is going into real work, not anxiety. He paused. But there's something else you need to understand. A secret Zen masters took centuries to grasp. Matthew leaned forward. There is a paradox in growth. The more you desperately want something, the more you push it away. The more relaxed you are about it, the faster it comes. This isn't the law of attraction. It's not magic. It's neuroscience. Chapter 8. The Paradox of Accelerated Patience. Think of two entrepreneurs. Dr. Tanaka said, they both work 10 hours a day. They're equally intelligent. They have the same idea. Entrepreneur A is desperate. He checks metrics every hour, compares himself constantly, panics when growth slows. He spends 4 hours working and 6 hours worrying. Entrepreneur B is calm. He works deeply, reviews progress weekly, doesn't compare himself to others. He uses all 10 hours for real work. Who arrives first? The answer was obvious, but there was more. Entrepreneur A makes reactive decisions. He copies competitors blindly, burns money on ads. Hires the wrong people out of urgency. Entrepreneur B thinks strategically. He analyzes context, invests patiently. Builds intentionally. The result? Entrepreneur B doesn't just arrive first. He arrives with a stronger foundation. Dr. Tanaka smiled. Patience doesn't slow you down, Matthew. Anxiety does. Patience is maximum efficiency. Chapter 9. 5 Practical Steps of Active Patience. Tanaka handed Matthew a sheet of paper. You've started the journey, he said. Now here are 5 principles you'll use for life. Step 1. Measure process, not just results. Stop measuring only outcomes. Measure actions. Not how much the company grew, but how many days you worked focused. Not how much weight you lost, but how many days you trained. You can't control results, but you can control actions. And when you measure actions, you always have something to celebrate. Step 2. Establish presence rituals, not just 5 minutes in the morning. Create micro pauses. 30 seconds of breathing before meetings. 10